-5. It is -5 today. I checked the wind chill. It should be only -8, but you see the icicles coming off the roof there. It's melting a bit, which is good. Yesterday was really cold to be outside, but I wanted to make a video for the weekend, and that was the only opportunity I have because I did my live today. So I am gonna go around the north side of my property, but I wanted to walk towards the sleigh here in case you caught my video I put out. Hi, Bud Files. So I just wanted to show you, last weekend I had the tractor out and I pushed the snow up. So I've got these huge ridges. Hi, Jovita. Hi, Des. So yesterday, the video that I filmed, it's funny, I've had 3 people say hi and it shows 1 person here. I don't know what YouTube is doing lately. They've been hiding lives from me. Hi, Michael. It's actually a nice warm day today. There's no wind. Yesterday was really cold. I couldn't stand outside for a couple minutes before I was freezing. But yeah, there'll be, hi Beth. I know that certain people are live at certain times, and I will go to my subscription feed to find them, and it won't show anything. Hi Jane. Hi Sheena. So I have to actually go into their channel and go to their live page to see their live. Hi Sunfish King. Hi Tommy. So I don't know what YouTube is doing lately, but so these are the ridges of snow that I pushed up with the tractor a week ago. And if you watched my video yesterday, I'm just gonna point this way. Jack came around the trailer. He came around the trailer, between the truck and the trailer here. And at about where the tires were, he started to hit the snow. And I started to lose control. Not me, the sleigh hit a ridge and kind of got thrown up. And I mean, we're talking maybe 2 inches here. It felt like it got thrown up a foot in the air. Yeah, Beth. Yeah, I don't know what YouTube is doing. So anyway, the sleigh kind of bounced up and I dropped to the sleigh floor. Jack kept going, hit these bigger ridges here, at which point I was no longer holding the reins, and I thought the best thing to do is just roll off because I didn't know if he was going to tip the sleigh. Of course, he wouldn't have. But yeah, I was abandoned at this point here. And so I was pouting a little bit, and Jack ran up to this gate and stopped. And I figured, okay, I'm going to leave him there, rest for a couple of, actually I started uploading the video or editing it. So I rested for quite a long time. And I made the mistake of not tying him to the fence post. There have been so many times where I've just left him and he just stood there. So hi, Adventures with Outdoor Eagle. So many times that I've just left him and he just stood where he was. Well, he didn't stay. Because I had the other horses closed off from coming up here, he decided that he was going to take off through these trees. And so when I did come outside, he was in those trees and he was stuck because the sleigh, if you can see the fence post that's leaning to the side, that has just moved from the weight of the rails on it. But anyway, that's where he wedged the sleigh. And there's a couple of young maples in there that prevented him from going any further. So I'm just going to show you here. This is what he did. And it was just a screw that let go. The wood snapped. No, he didn't panic. He was just trying to get to his buddies. And I wasn't on the sleigh. He's fine. He's not hurt. But I've got some damage to repair. Do you see that metal bar? He must have been trying to push it past that gate post it was not a gate post, the rail, and it wasn't working because it should be straight like that one. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna bend that bar back. But yeah, he was fine. It was just that he got the sleigh wedged in there, and it's just because his buddies were right there, and that's what he wanted to go to. So he turned the sleigh and walked right through there. So when I came outside, I undid him right there and I walked him out of this little hill here. I have plans for this hill. In the summer, I want to tear this all out with the tractor and kind of make it flatter. I don't know when I'm going to do this, but this alleyway that the horses walk on is in an angle. Hi, Little Ridge. And I want to straighten it out, but if I straighten it out, it has to go in all these trees. So I got to figure out how I'm going to be clearing a path. And it seems like I'm going to have to hire someone to cut these trees down. I don't know. It's just an idea. But anyway, everybody's fine. I might have... Hi, Glacier. Hi, Ralph. I might end up with a bruise or something on my leg, but that's really minor. So, off we go. I am going this way. And so far I've only had one coonhound out at a time, and it's been working well. Although this guy here, it's funny how all the coonhounds are quite different. Cooter has a thicker fur than all the other coonhounds, so he can stay outside a lot longer. Although today is a very nice day for him to be out. And the other guys are inside waiting for their turn to go out. But, and if you watch the video, you can see yesterday, Bo was whining. He had his jacket on. He was so cold. I didn't show it in the video, but I ended up putting him inside because it was just too cold for him. And I guess I could put my tailgate up. This is how I film. I put the tailgate down and I use the gimbal tripod base to stand it up. And then it took me 15 minutes to do everything with him, hook up the sleigh and bring it back to the yard. And I have like 40 minutes of nothing that I edit out. But I haven't figured out another way to do it, to film. Oh, I need to go snowshoeing more often because once a week it's a workout. And I got the sun on the screen right now. Can't see any messages coming in. Hopefully everybody's blue because I see you guys connecting, and that was the whole point. So I wouldn't have to stop and ask. Now look at this. Something tiny here. I'm going to see a lot more footprints around because the dogs aren't out all the time now. But yeah, if there is somebody who isn't blue and they ask, hopefully somebody who is blue can get them linked up. That's what it looked like, rabbit tracks. I didn't know we had so many rabbits around here, but I've never gone walking like this on a regular schedule. When I first moved here, it was so exciting. I explored every little inch of the land. And then it was, I fenced this whole area. You can't see to the end where I fenced it. And everything was done by hand. But I think next time I have to look into a digger. I would like to get a digger for an attachment on the tractor, but I'll probably end up doing it by hand. I want to change not this part. The dream right here would be to have rails. But the outside perimeter, I'm gonna slowly buy one piece at a time. What do you call it? Woven wire. So hopefully it's a deterrent for my dogs trying to leave the land. I know it's not gonna be bulletproof, but if I can deter them and they turn the other way, hi Butchie Bear. Hopefully I can start letting a couple dogs out at a time. And for any of you who have been here before, I had talked about a horse that I had just worked in the round pen, and he had taken off. Wow. Okay, I gotta show you this. I'm getting distracted here. There are so many footprints here. Look at all these footprints. Crazy. There you see my shadow there. Tons of them. So no wonder my dogs go crazy all the time. Yes, Evelyn, I believe it would be. When I fenced just this one area here, it took me all summer. That was my whole summer vacation. I would get up in the morning and I would go out and I would dig holes, and it was like my job. So what I was saying before I saw all these footprints, this little fenced-in area in front of this tree is where that horse is buried. And the reason I fenced it off is that I didn't want the dogs that I had at the time, I didn't want them digging him up and eating him, because I could only dig so far in the tractor, and then I hauled in a lot of sand to put him on top. But yeah, that's where he is. He's not far from the house. But eventually I'll take that. The fence is down. They can walk right through it, but it served its purpose. I'll take it down. I wouldn't mind planting some wildflowers there. So I'm probably walking like at least 1.5 to 2 feet off the ground right now. This is how drifted in it is here. But there's my old snowshoeing trail. Hi, Renaissance Grandma. Sorry if I'm missing you guys. I'm trying to keep my eyes on the chat as best as I can. Hi, Jamie. Well, here's another pathway. I hear something in the distance. I don't know what it is. Don't know where these guys are going. But it's going from the pine trees in my yard to, well, those are spruce trees, to these pine trees. Hi, Warrior Princess. Hi, Mitchell. I think that's what I saw. Oh, for being cold, I barely left the yard and I'm working up a sweat already. So, hi, Emar. All right, I don't know why I veered off to the side, but I'm gonna walk straight here. Tons and tons of footprints. And that's what's gonna happen when my dogs are gone. The wildlife's gonna come back. That's why there's so many tracks, because the dogs aren't outside all day anymore. I don't know what the dogs are barking at. They are looking towards the neighbors. I do hear their dogs at times. Oh, here's a tiny, tiny track. Hi, badass. I remember the week I started closing up. Yeah, well, Ralph, I'm thinking maybe they're eating my trees. And Tommy, I would love to get one, but what was it? My goal for this year was to get a kitchen sink. I'm putting that off. That was only $1,000 expense. Now my goal is to get my property fenced, at least the north side. So the survey and all the fencing is going to be my priority. And then when that's done, then I can think about kitchen sink. And that might take a couple years yet. Ralph, you know what? I'm working out of a plastic bucket right now, and it's just fine. When I do get all this fencing done and I can buy a sink, I'm gonna get one of those white farmhouse kitchen sinks. So, and I don't know why, but my dogs have worn out a pathway. This bush leads right to the back of my house, and they got a trail that comes right out here. And I don't know if you can see that gap in the trees in the distance, or maybe that's not a gap, that's actually their house. That's just under half a mile away. Because at the end of this fence line, I guess maybe where that pine tree is, I have about 20 to 30 feet more, and that's the end of my property. And then that's the neighbors. But it's just an open field, so I don't know how you train dogs to not go across an open field. So that's why the fence has to come up. I want to be able to live the lifestyle where I can go for a walk, and I have at least half of my dogs with me. It's what I enjoy. I'm not out here to cause anybody trouble. But it's just like those snowmobilers too. They don't have land to go on, so they go on other people's property. Well, I have the land to enjoy. I just have to keep everybody away and keep my animals on it. That's also why I want to walk this way too, is to see where they came up from, to see if I had any extra tracks on here. Because it was last week that they came right up to me on my walk. I think that was last week. Gosh, and this is all, you can barely see where I was. Of course the dog tracks are fresh, but you can't see the snowshoe tracks anymore. Ralph, were you there when the snowmobilers came? Yeah, it was. I actually love doing this live, and I had said that my Mondays I'm going to do until I get my watch hours. Those watch hours are slow moving. I think it was 1947, and I looked, and I lost an hour. So, and I don't know how long it is before they post hours, because I just dropped a video, but I don't have credit for them yet. But I don't know who these snowmobilers are. I don't know if they go around asking everyone for permission, but I can see in the distance. I'll see if I can get you guys seeing it. I see. Hello, Tom. Well, Jovita, if I ever think of a topic, I can keep going with them, but I'm like, my Mondays are the ones that I struggle with. And hi, Tom. Can you guys see in the distance? I can see it on my camera. So look at the last hill before the trees, and there are snowmobile marks on it. So I don't know who those guys were, but they are using the neighbor's land to go zipping up and down. Where those tracks are, that's not my land already. I think if you would follow the pine trees, the closest ones, I think that's kind of the edge of my property. But that's also why I need it surveyed, so I know exactly where to put my fence. But I mean, I don't know. I've never come from a place where it wasn't okay to ask the landowner if you could go across. I know I used to, as a kid, go horseback riding on my neighbor's land because it was adjoining ours, but they also knew that I was using it. Never went on anyone's land without permission. It's a slow walk today. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the scenery. I really need to get my leg muscles back because that was tricky on that sleigh. It's almost like you're surfing. You got to be prepared for anything. I like seeing the connections being made. If it wasn't for all of you guys, I wouldn't be where I am. Yeah, see, this is on my land here, but I think this is when they saw me. One guy turned around and did a loop, then they decided maybe they should talk to me. What I'm curious to see, if it doesn't take me too long, is if they were down in the ravine. It is a beautiful day. Although no matter what I do, I'm always panting and my nose is always running. That's just winter. Keep going, Bo. Come on, Bo. Well, here's the thing. Years ago, I had called my neighbors to see if they knew who the snowmobilers were, and they didn't. And the snowmobilers will change from year to year. But they didn't seem to mind. So it's just the difference between me and them, I guess. I just like my privacy. I know in the beginning when I moved out here, I talked about this before. The guy who owned the land was sick and he had to keep going into the city for dialysis. So they were barely out here and they didn't have any of their farm animals anymore, not their horses or dogs. So the wildlife was moving in. And I used to sit, come on, Bo. I used to stand on the hill that I have the goat pen in, by the round pen, and I'd look off into the distance to my alfalfa field, and you could see hundreds of deer. And I'm not kidding either. I think they were migrating and used my place as a pit stop because the ravine is an excellent place to migrate through. So at that point, I let a couple people hunt on my land. And I tried hunting one year. I wasn't successful. And then I got these dogs, so I just don't see the deer like I used to. Hi, Byron. So yeah, looks like he was having some fun on this hill. Well, oh, look, we got teeny tiny tracks again. Can you see those? Byron, definitely. They chase him off. It was funny. My dad would be cutting hay, and there'd be deer sleeping in the field, and they'd wake them up. And then the dogs would catch the scent, and the deer would be zigzagging across the field, and the dogs were just lost as to where they were. So it's funny to see them. And I've seen big bucks being chased out, probably 10 years ago. I haven't seen anything big like that again in a long time. But I used to be outside a lot more, and I kind of took a break, but I'm back at it again. All kinds of little tracks. Somebody must have had a big tail or something. I don't know how you get a swoosh in the snow like that. See, I already see my dogs are using the pathway. Because I guess that's one thing about skidoos, is they make a nice path to walk on. Actually, Byron, these don't look like rabbit. Those were more equal in size, but I have shown some rabbit closer to the house. How many minutes are we in here? Almost half an hour. Wow. I barely get anywhere. I want to walk through the ravine, see what's up, what kind of tracks I could see there. Keep going. It's funny, sometimes I trip up because Bo comes running behind me and he steps on my snowshoes. So it's an unexpected weight. Keep us with you more watch time. Yep. The reason I like this is because if I don't say something, at least you guys have a view. If I'm doing my Monday and I don't have anything to say, then we're just staring at each other. And I can't even see you guys. And sometimes I'm looking down and not looking at chat because I don't want to fall. Yeah, there's a lot of snow. Like where Bo's walking, you can barely see. I've been on this path before. So it's snowed since I've been out here. Although last week I didn't walk this way. I'm gonna have to start bringing Kleenex with me. And here's the tree that the deer ate last year. Move you guys up a bit. 20 people in here. This is awesome. Switching hands. This is the way I went for my 1 hour silent, well, silent as in I didn't talk. It's kind of like an ASMR snowshoeing video. Oh boy, breaking new trail. Oh boy, time to take a breath. Ralph. That's what mitts are for, right? Just wipe it on your mitt. I am starting to get very warm though. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen my dad do that in the winter day. As Lance come in. Lance, I don't know if you saw, I emailed you my logo. So let me know if you need a deposit or whatever. Whew, time to catch breath. Hi, David. Hi, farmer. Oh, that went too fast for me. I was looking down. Who was that? Farmer John Bacon. So, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm standing on the top of the hill. And it's about an 80-foot drop from here. David, this is Manitoba in Canada. And I'm catching my breath because I have to walk down sideways. Hi, Brett and Deborah, maybe. So I can't just walk straight down or else I'm gonna fall over. Let's go, Bo. Come on, let's go. Okay, thank you too for coming in. That's one thing I gotta do today, lots of housework. I left the clothes washing. A sleigh, yeah. I could use a calf sleigh to go down here. Maybe. The first couple of slide down the hill is slow going though until you get a path established. The thing is, I don't know if you can see all these trees right here. The closest ones to me, they weren't here when I moved here. So this is kind of growing in. Is Big Tiny here? Oh no, you meant tiny as in Brett. No, it's not too cold out here. It's only 5 degrees. I've got a jacket and a toque and mitts on. I actually have my mitt off right now because I am working up a sweat. So right now, I'm not going to do it because I don't have numerous hands. But right now I could be walking with just a sweater on. But when I did my silent or my ASMR walk, I was wondering why the camera was tilting so much, but it's actually not. -5 Jovita, which is, I don't know what it is for you. Like, is that 10 or 20 for you guys? -5, Byron. Because I know your 30 is 0. You guys. So the tilt you see on the camera is staying level. And it is showing you, oh, Bo's on my snowshoe right now. He's gonna make me fall. It is showing you the slant of the land. Yes, well, Rasta Ralph, anything above 0 is tank top weather. You could be wearing shorts at 0 degrees. And you know, it's less about what the temperature is and more about how strong the wind is. Because yesterday was single digits below, but the wind was blowing. Hi, Al. And that's what kills you, because I would take my mitts off to put the harness on yesterday, and it was crazy cold. My hands were starting to sting. And I said it how many times in my video? I was just mumbling to Jack over and over again how cold it was. Boy, if I had some skis, I'd be skiing straight down here. The hair is good. What did I miss? I could see what these swoosh marks are. It wasn't an animal and tail. It is the grass bending over in the wind, and it makes a swoosh mark. So that's cool, because I keep seeing it over and over again. I thought, what? There's not that many animals out here. It's actually the grass blowing. So this is nice to know that nobody was out here. Feed bags with what? Which Eddie? For good, with snow inside. I've never heard of that. Hi, Eddie Lugo. Hopefully I said hi to Warrior Princess earlier. Chat is busy today. I think this is cool because I see 24. I can't remember what my highest has ever been, but I know when I started doing my walks, Bo keeps stepping on my snowshoes. I started out with about 10, so it's grown a bit. And I'll keep doing this throughout the seasons and see the different things. I know that one of my first, what do you call it? I called it a vlog. The first one I ever did, I was so shy. And I went walking through this ravine. And like I said, I hadn't been walking in ages. Well, what happened is at the top of the ravine, which is at the end of the alfalfa field, there are these wild, they call them sunflowers, but It's not a sunflower like the seeds, you know. It is a yellow daisy looking flower. And what happens is the winter runoff comes down the ravine from the farmer's field. And I guess it was washing the seeds into the ravine. Because when I first moved here and investigated the place, there were no flowers growing there. And now, when I went in the summer, there were tons of them. And what I would like to do is bring some to the yard, because every year I buy, what do you call it, annuals, and it costs so much. So I'd like to get just wildflowers and plant them and not have to worry about them. Also, the dogs will sometimes lay in there because it's cooler, so I won't feel so bad. You may hear, because I'm not too far from a highway, you may hear vehicles in the distance. When I walk through the ravine, maybe you hear it less, but when I'm high up on the hill, you're probably hearing it carry over the land. So I can hear it a bit. I'm about, I would say a mile. So I'm not way out in the middle of the bush, which when I first looked for this place, the job that I had, they had just lost, I was a high school teacher, and someone in the high school was working on, I think they were working at a pig farm or something like that. I'm not sure, that's not the important part, but it was nighttime by the time they left, and it was two high school boys traveling home in the dark. And this is maybe before trains had reflectors on their side, but they went through an intersection that did not have lights. It was just the old sign that is a cross, so there was no alarm or anything like that. Well, they were, I don't know what speed they're going. You can go up to 90 down a gravel road, and they drove right into the side of a train. So me having young children and knowing that I wanted dogs, I wanted to find a place that was nowhere near train tracks. And sometimes when I'm outside, you can hear the train, but that's over a mile away, and it's way on the other side of the highway. And the other thing I had to have was that the house could not be by a main road, because I didn't want my dog run over. And so my driveway is on an angle, but it's an eighth of a mile from the main road. So this property checked off all the boxes, and it was way more acreage than I thought I could ever have. But it was cheap. I think I've told people this before. Yeah, Ralph, you would have heard it, Carrie. I got 80 acres with a rundown trailer, a garage, small one, and a shell for a barn. I paid $65,000 for all of that 16 and a half years ago, and I no longer have a mortgage. And some people who are good businessmen were saying that I overpaid it, because you should take your taxes, they say, and multiply it by 1.5 and not pay more than that. I think I did pay a little bit more, almost closer to 2 times the value according to land assessment. But it is well worth, it's almost doubled in value since then. So, and nobody will ever put the value on it like I do, because this is everything I wanted. Like right here, I've got the wilderness, but I'm not really way out in the bush where I have to worry. If something ever happened, I'm not too far from like ambulance and I don't know, fire truck. If my house ever burnt down, I'd probably just watch it burn. And I've got the best water. I don't know if it's true or not, but they say we're on top of an aquifer. So you can't beat free water. This is where it gets tricky and I walk really slow because I have to come out here, not in the middle of summer, definitely before the mosquitoes come back, and trim a trail. I would like to have at least a 4-foot trail so that I don't have to hit trees as I walk through them. Jovita, are you having to go? Oh, punching that. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, but yeah. Like, that's the thing about Manitoba. You can find some pretty cheap land here. But I mean, compare that to Ireland. Ireland's beautiful. Yeah, Bubba's. Hello, Bubba's. I don't think I said hi to you. And GWT and Real VR. I don't think I said hi to any of you. This land is worth way more to me than anybody would ever offer. And I've been here so long. I moved here with dogs and one died mysteriously. I don't know if he had a heart attack. Another one died of old age. So I have them buried on the property as well. Sorry guys, I'm fighting trees right now. But yeah, I love this scenery, but really, all of these trees that are bent over, I don't know if they're gonna pop back up. Hi, Rebecca. I don't know if they're gonna pop back up in the summer, but these ones definitely look like they need to be cut. And I could have bonfires out here for days. But sometimes, depends on how much snow we've had in the winter. This whole area will be like a little lake. Not really deep, but I mean a couple of inches of the water pooling. And then it drains right to the northwest corner, which is kind of a slough area. And that's another dream, is to have a dugout dug up. And if I had it fenced in, then the horses would have a natural water source. So yes, free firewood. I just have to learn how to cut it down. I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm gonna point up. There's kind of, in the middle of the picture, there's a clump of trees. When I used to have deer, and plenty of deer, it's a really steep incline right here. And so you wouldn't really go there unless you were a deer, but there was a bed at the base of that tree. I happened to stumble upon it one time. It wasn't easy walking up there though. All right, I gotta climb over this. Gonna take a second so I don't trip up on my snowshoes. Oh, and this tree is ready to burn too. Nice and dry. And over. Lots of little tracks here. Pretty sure these are bunnies again. Looks like. Hi, Johnny. Wow, that's expensive. But you gotta think too, what kind of house is on these properties? Like, I mean, my trailer, if you ever seen me standing in front of it like I did at the beginning of this, I put cedar siding, but only on the two sides that you can see from the road. The back side of the house is the original tin, and I mean, it's junk. I had red shag carpet in the bedroom. The linoleum in the kitchen was so worn out. Ooh, I just caught the camera on a twig. The linoleum was so worn out by the dogs that they wore it down to the plywood underneath. And so if you go back to my older videos, you can see how I tore the kitchen out and I redid the floors and I put ceramic tiles down. So, and the back of the house had one big bedroom with a little area for, he was a farmer, so he would come in and put all his dirty clothes there. And we tore that wall down to put it back to the original 2 bedrooms. And my children lived in a 6.5 by 9 bedroom while they lived in this house. Tiny, tiny bedrooms. So the house was nothing, and there's no, what do you call it? Like if you buy a regular house, it appreciates over time, and trailers don't. It's not worth anything. And I actually had the tax guy come when I was at work, and he left his card on the door saying to call him. And I'm wondering, why do I need to call him? So he can up my taxes? But I'm guessing because they want to see inside the house. But if they need to, they can call me back. Is Al still watching? Hi, Paul. Because this is a perfect area to make any kind of shelter. Because not only are you sheltered from open fields, if you build a shelter within this, I think I've said this in the past, that I have sat on this side, the one year that I did hunt, I sat on this side of the ravine, and you can see clear up into these trees on the other side, and I saw a coyote. He didn't know I was there. The wind was blowing to me, so he couldn't pick up my scent. And I just watched him walk like a dog, sniffing trails and checking things out. It was pretty cool, because he had no idea I was there. And I was hunting deer, so I never took a shot at him. Oh, definite bunny tracks. Can you see that? There we go. Thanks, Sheena. This is why I say I was on top of the world over Christmas break to have all the dogs with me, and they chased the coyote out. Even though I didn't see it, I could hear him. And then it all came down when they went over to the neighbors. I've got one dog that got beat up pretty bad. He just looks like a boxer as in a human boxer, because his snout is blown up and his back too. So they must have had a grand old fight. Hi, Shaz. I don't think I said hi to you. I think he was dancing in one spot. Those look so big. Those are like 4 inches long here. He must have been doing something, moving around. Unless I've got huge bunnies. They're not bunnies, they're what, hares? Hi, David. This must be one big bunny. Of course, you know, I might not be looking at one footprint, but goodness. Baby Sasquatch. Funny, Neil. Definitely big old hair. And who knows, they could be sitting here watching us. And we would not know because they're just white. The snow tracks are deceiving though, because if they slid just a tiny bit, then they make it look like their paw is bigger. And somebody was dancing around in here. See, it's so warm right now, my glasses are fogging up. I have to unzip the jacket a bit. Need some ventilation. I like how Bo stays with me on the trail. I think he's about 12 years old now. 2011. You'd be coming 12 in the spring, right? And then Cooter's somewhere off in the distance here. Hi, Chris. 29 people in the house. Wow, thank you guys. I think this is a record. We'll see. I'm at an hour here. I'm gonna keep going if my battery lasts. See if I can get back to the yard and end with the donkey and the colts. But yeah, I'm not walking fast at all today. It's less about exercise and just enjoying myself more. Hey, Cooter. It's funny how the land is slanted and the phone still stays straight. Seems crooked to me, but it's not. Surprised the snow hasn't been blown off or melted off the trees yet. Yeah, I'm stopping to look around because I'm catching my breath. And if I trip up, it's going to be up this hill. I did that on my ASMR video. It might be hard to tell, but it's almost a vertical hill. And I was in my snowshoes, but I was almost on my knees. And then one point I was on my knees because I kind of fell over. I don't think I really edited anything out. I was trying very hard not to breathe in the camera in that video. Hi, Bubba. ASMR, I can't remember what it stands for. Something sensory, where you just have the sound. Like if I wasn't talking, you would just hear the crunching of the snow. You might hear birds if there was in the distance, or if a coyote was howling. People do videos where they cut up vegetables when they're cooking and stuff. I don't know what the whole abbreviation means. Or like when people open things, playing with the package, the sound that the package makes. I don't know why this amazes me so much. But these are those birch trees. Probably because I don't have many on the land. And these are tiny ones. Hard for you guys to see. I need to be walking on that bank because there's no trees there. But we made the trail down here. Sheena. The other thing I could do too, if my battery lasts that long, is when I get back to the barn, show you guys how big the pigeon is now. Why are they worth cash? Come on, Bo, let's go. Oh, wow, Ralph. I'm definitely walking slower today. See, this is where all of these trees, I don't remember them when I first moved here, but this is the direction. You could see it goes uphill, kind of like the dogs are on the bank of the ravine and the water washes all the way through here. And this is what this, you kind of can see some lines in the snow there. Hi, Yankee Kyle. That's where the water would flow through and it kind of washed this area out. I think Bo's ready to get back in the house. If you see him trembling, that's not because he's cold. He's always had this nervous energy to him. Well, he might be a little bit cold, but he's not freezing. I don't know if it's his dog breed or what, but when he was a pup, he would run and run and run. And then when he stood still, he would just shake. Or if he got excited, he would tremble. Okay, I'm wondering if I should follow the dog trail, which is more gradual, or go up my path. That's where I went. And that's where I kind of tripped at about the tree, that lone oak tree there. Yeah, I'm just explaining because somebody saw Bo trembling one time, and I said it's not because he's cold. It's some kind of nerve thing in him. Okay, excuse me while I puff up this hill. This is straight on view. That's where I gotta go. You can't even see the whole of the cottonwood at the top. One step at a time. Thank goodness I got these little claws under my foot. Come on, Bo. He just stopped in my path. He's not moving. Bo, let's go. Hey, Heather. Jumpers. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Bo, you got to get up because I don't want to step on you. Let's go. Come on. I'm going to wait to make a comment because I don't want to say, because then I'll fall. Yep. I think it was easier this time. Whew, although I'm out of breath. What I should say is I didn't fall this time because I wasn't breaking trail. I was following a trail. Whew. I need to bring a fit person along with me to see if that would win them. Just tons and tons of tracks here. More bunny rabbits, I'm guessing. So I'm back up at the top of the ravine. Wondering if you guys noticed that it was quiet down there. And now you should be able to hear. Oh, look at him. Kind of stuck in the snow. Let's go, Bo. Should be able to hear the traffic in the distance. Well, I'm happy to see that they haven't been back. These tracks are where they saw me and they came up to meet me. So nice that they, come on, let's go, respected what I said. All right, time for the hat to come off. I'm just way too hot. I am in the home stretch, so you want to talk about firewood. That whole tree that fell down would be perfect. Oh, Bo's right on the heel of my snowshoe. Come on, Bo. Is that tree shrinking or did you get more snow? Which one are you looking at? The pine tree sitting in the I think it's drifting up there. We only did get a little bit more snow, but if it's blowing and we have had wind, it's gonna stop there, right? So it looks like it's a little bit drifted up. I must say, it's definitely easier walking on the snowmobile track. I remember when we were kids at my dad's farm, he used to make a trail with the snowmobile so we could go cross-country skiing. This guy takes about 10 steps and has a rest. So Shaz, is snow kind of a rarity for you? Come on, Bo, let's go. Definitely, the tracks got blown in here. Oh, there's something tiny. Oh, the one thing I noticed the other day, haven't seen them in ages, saw a magpie. Come on, Bo. Ralph, where are you again? I just realized that I've got a lot of UK people here. At least a handful of them. Paul, Shaz, Ralph. That, oh, please tell me how to, well, you guys aren't speaking. That Ponchine, the guy from Ireland or whatever. I don't know why I did this. I walked around the bales instead of going a straight path. Maybe. I was looking at all of these tracks here. I'm assuming this is some kind of birds hopping around, picking up maybe the grass seeds, because they're sprinkled all over the ground. Real VR, where are you? Oh, I missed where Ralph is. Oh, there we go. He's there. I said it right. Yeah, see, I wouldn't know. You guys say places. I just know that before I got into YouTube, this is like years ago, at least a decade ago, because I still had cable. I used to watch, oh, I'm going to forget all the names. It was all the UK shows on buying homes, like moving away from the city into the country. There were tons of different shows that I would watch on HGTV. And there was one couple that left the city and they bought a place up by Erica. And I love the sound of that place because it sounds like the girl's name Erica, E-R-I-C-A, but it's spelled A-R-R-O-C-H-A-R. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I can't remember, but I think it's in Scotland because there's all these lakes. So I know that I always had that in my mind, that I want to go to Scotland. So I always talk about how I'm part Ukrainian. Well, my mother is a mix of English, Irish, Scottish, and Hungarian. And so I always wanted to go see where the ancestors came from. All right, Sheena. So all you UK people watching, do you know what I'm talking about when I say Erica? I'm just reading the chat, that's why I'm so quiet. I have no idea where any of these places are. Pretty easy walk right now though, because this trail is pretty well made. All right, I'm gonna take a second to pop these snowshoes off. And I don't think I saw a Herb and Bucket I think her name is Susan. She's the one who said it's cool to see a baby pigeon, but I'm gonna give you guys an update anyway. I know that. Oh, I'm having difficulty getting this one off. I know that some people say they're like rats, but it's cool to see for me. There's Mama, and there's Baby. The Mama's sitting there because she laid another couple of eggs. So she's getting an extra babysitter. When she flies off of the nest, the baby is still sitting there, so he's still keeping the eggs warm. Yeah, I probably could tame those guys, but I don't want to go that crazy. I'd like to try and eventually shoe them because people say that, look, I even got bunny tracks here. This is crazy. I didn't know there were so many. If that is a bunny, kind of looks that way to me. I buy a $15 bag of chicken feed and it'll last about a week. I don't even know if I get a dozen eggs out of that. So, but I'm also feeding ducks and geese and roosters with that. And, oh, I have about a dozen pigeons in there. Oh, now I got a sun glare on the camera. I need to prop this up a bit. There, that's better. Right now, Ralph, how many chickens do you have? Or what is it? Do you got other birds? I know I've watched you on your live, but I guess that's telltale sign I'm not paying attention. Quail, maybe? She's got a cute little head. She looks so raggy, though. I think she's going to be a bay more than a black because she's got brown in her mane. And her brother, which is Rain, that's a full brother. He's the paint. He's a bay paint. Thank you, Chris. Oh, wow. But are you making anything off of it, Ralph? Because I don't. I get some eggs. I don't sell or breed. I don't even kill the roosters for meat. This is so much like a... If I were to do anything, it would be a petting zoo. Yeah, Jamie, that's what my Rain is, a bay paint. He's not of any... well, his dad was a registered quarter horse, but his mom is just grade. But I stopped paying into all that. The Quarter Horse Association is for, in my opinion, it's for rich people. You have to pay your stud fee, and then you got to pay to get your colt registered. And then they come up with, oh, there's this new disease out. You got to send us some follicles of hair from your mares. Make sure they're up to date on their testing. It was just a... it's paying for those people sitting in the office. And they say that dot right below her white mark, I don't know if this is true or not, but the lower it is between their eyes, the more gentle your horse will be. But there's a lot of funny sayings about how to look for a good horse. She's just checking out the camera. That's why you're getting that view. Kind of sniffing on the gimbal arm. And this one's scratching her head. She's itchy. Hey, girl? Yes, it's a money grab, Rebecca. That's what I'm trying to say. She's bobbing her head up and down. I must have got the right spot. That's funny. It's hard to catch it. She was bobbing it from side to side as well. Kind of like a dog when they you get the scratch, their leg starts moving. Yeah, that's Christy. Hey, girl. Hi, Digging with Deej. Just at the end of my walk now. How many more minutes before 2 o'clock? All I see is that I've been live for 82. Would it be 8 more minutes? Ralph, I'm gonna have to go back and check some of your older videos because I usually catch your live. I think that's pretty much all that I've watched. I watched you game and I've seen you out in the dark and in the house. 10 more minutes? Well, I'll just point the camera on Christy for 10 minutes. All right, so I'm thinking when I reach 90, I'm at 83 right now, so that's 7 more minutes. So, look at Bo. He's resting on the ground here. But yeah, right when I got up that last hill, see, distraction. This is why that little palomino is so dirty looking, because he's laid right out on the ground. And sure, there might be some hay to lie on there, but they poop all over it too. So, what was I gonna say? Oh, when I came up that last hill, I got so hot. I have my hat off now. It almost feels like a spring day. There's no wind. I'm gonna guess that it's warmer than -5 already. What about the palomino, Shaz? He would be, if I paid into all the registration, so he's out of my stud, which is Dynamo Teddy, and his mother is TCR Drifting Snow. She's a cremello, so she's all white, which is, it's kind of more of a cream color, but did Al say he was leaving? Thanks for coming in. Paul. Oh, and I can hear my dog went back out. He's barking towards the neighbors again. Keep all your animals organic and away from drugs. What do you mean by that? I do give these guys the dewormer, but I would rather put that into them than to see them suffer from an overload of parasites. And that's about all I do give them. And of course they do get penicillin if they're ever sick. You know what? The best thing, ivermectin. So I said that I haven't ridden Jack in 2 years because the first year he was hurt by rain. No need for penicillin, but if they got an infection, penicillin helps them. So 2 years ago, Jack, I was bandaging up his leg. It took me a whole year for him to close that wound, grow the skin back, and then the hair come on top. And then the next year, he had an overload of parasites. And I didn't know what it was until I saw him losing the hair. I thought that maybe I had dusty hay, which could be quite common because he was coughing a lot. And so then I went on the internet and I started reading about it, and then there's a name for it too, and it's escaping me right now. If you get dusty feed, there's a name for what the horse cough is. But anyway, I started researching it, and it said that that cough usually goes away on its own, and that it could be parasites on the lungs, where lungworm or whatever. And so I gave him a shot of ivermectin because you could see his backbone already. And it helped, although it didn't stop the coughing 100%. So a couple months later, I gave him another round of it. And now you can see him today. He is fat. He's got the ridge on his back. He's plenty plump enough now. So I didn't ride him while... What are you guys talking about? The horse may turn synthetic. I did not keep up with the conversation. Yes. Ivermectin. Also, the vet, when my pig was losing weight, she gave me just 1 milliliter of it because he's a small pig. And I went to him with a chocolate brownie because they love chocolate. And he opened his mouth wide because I can't go up to him and just give him medicine. He opened his mouth wide because he thought he was getting the chocolate brownie, and I shot that ivermectin from a syringe into his throat, and then I gave him the brownie. He came back from being underweight. You couldn't even tell that he was an old pig anymore. He looked just like the young ones. Yeah, I do need to give him another round of it. The older pig though, because I can see he's not as plump as Petunia is. I love this guy here. This is the reason I want to keep him, but I'm also thinking that the Palomino is probably going to be gentler than this guy. But I want to start working with them this spring as soon as I get them cut. Well, I'm going to have to halter break them before because I got to haul them to the vet. But just doing ground training for the first year, and then when they're 2 years old, start putting the saddle on them. You know what? I love them because the best is when they breathe on you. And their muzzles are so soft. Hi, Cynthia. I don't think I said hi to you. Yes, Heather, it's my last minute, 45 seconds, and I'm going to hit the 90-minute. So I'll say a long goodbye. I see, oh, look at her. She's playing with the twine. I see 50 thumbs up. This is awesome. And I had a good 20 people at least most of the time. So I'd like to say thank you for everyone coming in, and I'm sorry if I did miss anybody. And it's only because I looked down to make sure I don't trip. Oh yeah, there's one for you, Heather. If you can take care of that. Oh, hidden by Shaz. Thank you, Shaz. I must be famous now. But anyway, thank you everyone for coming in. And if we don't see you tomorrow night on Monday Magging, I will see you next week for my walk on Sunday. Thank you everyone again. See you next time.